Hello for the 13th Sunday in Ordinary Time, using only the gospel reading, and that is Matthew 10:37 to 42. And I call this for Christ's sake. Do I do things for Christ's sake? Do I give myself back to God? Well, as far as you wonder when you read these Gospels nowadays. Two things, one on Friday and one on this morning or this afternoon. Uh, the one for uh, Friday, some of these Fridays get close to Sundays and they sort of influence the Sundays. And Fridays, Christ seeks or finds a leper, or a leper finds him and asks, Lord Jesus, if you want to do so, you can cure me. And boom, boom, the leper is saved. What a great response. And so I've been trying to ask myself, how do I respond to God? And, other people in the history of the church responding. For example, there's a wild one. In the 16th century, St Francis of Assisi, he goes to church one day and they have a gospel reading where Jesus says, go sell all we have, give to the poor, and come follow me. And so he does. He goes home, gets all his father's material goods and gives it to the poor. And he says, I'm following Christ. Ooh. His father wasn't a happy camper. His father had to go to the bishop and demand his stuff that Francis gave away. And in fact, he had to sue or go to the courts to get his things back from the church, which he did. Well, I don't think that is following Christ too well. But Francis, in due time, totally followed Jesus Christ. But sometimes some of the wild statements it seems like Christ makes, and that is in today's gospel, in Matthew. And here he says, whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. If you love your father and mother more than Jesus, you're not worthy of me. Does he really mean that? I remember way back we were at the beginning of our diocese. We went to Meinrad for a retreat, and we would have mass, and the bishop would be with us, and all the priests in the diocese. And this same reading, the gospel reading, came up that day, and there was one priest there who just lost his father. His dad died about a week or a month ago from where we were then. And he heard the words of Jesus, and he was really uptight because he was still mourning from the loss of his father. And you can hardly blame him. What did Christ mean? He who loves his father and mother more than me is not worthy to be my disciple. Well, I think we all try to follow the will of Jesus or the will of God. And Jesus is saying, what I'm telling you is more important than your mom or dad, more important than all the money in the world, more important with all the power in the world. But you are called to follow me. It certainly woke up that priest in our 3-day convention over at St. Myron's. And it really, I've never forgotten it. And so I continue to ask, how am I following Jesus? Two things. one early on in the seminary, I thought maybe Jesus was calling me to be a priest. And I said, over my dead body, I'm not going to be a priest. And I decided not to go in the seminary and go to study chemistry. And when it got closer and closer to the beginning of the seminary season at the end of the summer, in the last week or two, I decided to go into the seminary and give it a try. And that's and the rest of the story. Happy I did, but I think I'm trying to follow Jesus. Well, it's been 60 years. I'm trying to follow Jesus. Well, it's getting to the period of we don't have too much time on planet Earth. And as far as I started out with no money and wound up, I think, a rich priest. And so I say, well, what am I going to do with my money when I die? And so for the last, well, it's a few weeks prior to this, and I'm still in the process. For the third time, I'm working out my last will and testament, my will. And what I decided is this in following Christ, because I have not been like St. Francis, gave all of my money's father's money or any of my money totally to Christ or to the church or to the poor. But I thought, I don't have any kids. I think most people just almost automatically give their kids whatever they have left over when they die. I can't understand that. I do like the tithing system with the Jewish people, which we have taken on to give a tenth of your money to the poor or to God. And so I don't have any kids. So I decided to go, well, I have 16 nephews and nieces. I think I'm going to give them a token something. I think a lot, but a token something. But I have decided to give my money to the church or the people. And it's two things now. It used to be just one. It's all coming to Pax Christi. Sorry, Pax Christi, you're not going to get all my money. I don't think. Not finished with the will yet, but I don't think. I decided to give half of my money to Pax Christi and half of it to the street people, to the Catholic Action Center. I've always wanted to work in the poor, but I never have, really. I've been in big parishes and wealthy parishes and education of the intelligent people and so forth. Never really worked for the poor. And so I thought, that sounds like a good idea. Sort of makes me feel good. People have given me so much. I'm not a wealthy priest, but I mean, a wealthy person, but a wealthy priest. And we all have to do this sooner or later. I'm in the process of doing it later. So, how do I follow Christ? When he says, you better, I'm going to be more important than your father or your mother. But then he says, you know, hate them? No. We don't hate them, we love them. And we love other people. And in loving other people, we follow Christ. Whether it's I'm sorry, whether it's if you need this, I'll help you, I'll give you my time, I'll give you my money, I'll give you me. I honestly believe that gospel is wild and it can make you think. But I makes you think to know what is ultimately important in life. Giving. Giving yourself. Giving your money. Giving your time. And giving and receiving the love of others. Hmm. Read that gospel. Are you a disciple? Am I a disciple? Have a good day.